Hi, hello, welcome to Devon Monk's Works and Worlds. We are on maybe Monday, Monk 112, 112. I'm going to guess that. I promised myself I was going to look and double check the number before I started this, but I did not do that, so I have let myself down. We're somewhere around there, 112, 113 episodes. Yeah, I know we're past 111, so we're somewhere in there. And I want to thank you for coming along and spending a little time with me today. I really appreciate it. You'd think I'd do something different, but I'm not going to. Just like I forgot the number like I do every single week. I'm going to do this same thing that I do every single week and cover how things are going with writing, knitting, and Monkland in particular. And Monkland, I did promise that I would talk about the experience that we had when we did a paranormal investigation at my sister's house. So I will be doing that in the Monkland part. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, stick around. Okay. How are things going with writing? Yeah, good. That's a dumb answer. Good. But no, things are going good. Why? Because Nursery Crimes is done, 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 done. It is revised, copy edited, re-revised 2 times after the copy edit. It is proofread for typos and whatnot. And I'm still, even though it's all proofread, I just found today another place where it was missing a period. So there's bound to be mistakes in it, people. I guess, what do they say? It's the flaws that make it perfect. I'm leaning into that. So it's proofread and it is now in formatting. And so hopefully it will be formatted and it will be available, I don't know, Monday, though, whatever the next Monday is. I'm thinking I'll just put it out, put it on sale. Like I'm not gonna hold it back and be like, oh, tee-hee, we'll put it out in a month or so. No, as soon as it's done, literally hot off the press, it's going to be out there at all of your retailers where you get it. Ebook first. Print will come just a little later because print takes a little more formatting, and I'm going to need a little time for that. So, yeah. So Nursery Crimes is just about ready for you to pick up, and I am both incredibly excited about that, like really, really excited about it, and also really nervous that people, whether people will like it or not, right? I think that's a writer thing. You're always going to worry about that. But this book has a note about this book in the book, which tells the history of this story, which really goes back to my beginning roots as a writer and starting my career and how this story had an influence on that. So it's kind of worth it just to read a note on this book, which is at the end of that book. So anyway, I wanted to add that in there because there's a lot about Nursery Crimes that shaped my career. And it's kind of funny to think that one small story could do something like that. But yeah, read that note about the book in the book, Nursery Crimes, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, that's a good thing about writing. And while that is not actually writing, like, I mean, it is. Proofreading and revision is definitely writing, and copy edits is definitely writing. But it's not like drafting new words. I mean, it is, but it's drafting new words in the same book, finished book. I don't know. I'm splitting hairs here. I haven't written new stuff for a while, and I'm looking forward to getting to write new stuff because I have been in revision mode for a long time. So it's going to be nice to move on to something new. Although I love this book, so I really hope other people enjoy it. Okay, so that's writing. How are things going with knitting? Knitting isn't happening. I've had no spare moments. It is summer, and summer means all my spare moments go to keeping the yard up and anything else that we do in summer, which is sometimes doing some fun stuff. So we did some fun stuff last weekend. We did a paranormal investigation. I'll talk a little more about that at the end, like I said, which is probably just in a couple of seconds. But because of that, I haven't done knitting, and I keep trying to get to the crochet project. And every evening when I think, okay, this is the evening I'm going to sit down and work on that crochet, I am just so tired, I just go to bed. So maybe I'll get that crochet project started. We'll see. And it's another vest is what I'm going to be working on. And I think I can do it quickly. I just have to get the beginning going on it. So yeah, that's knitting and crochet. I do want to knit some toys again. I'm starting to feel the itch. So I'm going to be getting back to that soon. Knitting, crochet, and then Monkland. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you the not paranormal investigation part. Then I'm going to tell you the paranormal investigation part. So here's the not paranormal investigation part. Things that are going on in Monkland. We have been working on the yard. So hubby and I got out there, and as I said in a previous Monday Monk, we dug all of the dirt out of our giant flower bed, which is, it's 33 feet or something like that by 4 feet deep. It is a wide, large bed. And we got the dirt dug out, and like I said in a previous video, we were going through rock, which made it an unpleasant experience. And it was hot, and it was miserable. We were sweating hard, and it was hard work. And I mean, we had the axes out to have to break up the soil. It was real, true kind of breaking rock kind of labor. But we got that dirt moved, and then we bought a bunch of gravel. We bought a yard and a half, 2 yards of gravel. I can't remember how much we got. I think 2 yards. We used about a yard and a half of it. I think a yard and 3/4 of it of gravel. And then we shoveled that gravel on top of the flat dirt. And then we leveled it. And then I tamped it down with the tamper, you know, that post thing that you smash with. I smashed it all down with the tamper, and we did all of that gravel digging on a really hot day. So that was smart. We were super smart. And I mean, it was just like sweat stinging my eyes. Like it was I felt like I was earning my cookies that day. So I didn't have any cookies, so that was sad. Anyway, but so we tamped all that gravel down, and then we went out and we bought sand, because that's the next step. And so I don't know, that was a yard of sand, something like that. And I've got to tell you, after doing digging in the dirt, shoveling gravel, or shoveling sand, sand wins. Sand is fun. Sand, it was wet sand, so you'd think, oh no, that's even heavier. But I didn't care how heavy it was, because gravel was heavy and the rock and the dirt was heavy. The sand was similarly heavy. But what was great about it is it kind of like packed up like a sandcastle, so you could just get a whole big shovelful and then throw it. And so you got a lot done in one scoop. So yeah, I mean, these arms have gotten a workout, people. So anyway, we did sand, and the sand is all laid on top of the gravel, which is laid on top of the dirt, and everything is as level as we can get it at this point. And then we went out and we got to one of our local landscaping wholesalers, actually, I think. And we looked at the flagstones that they have, and we've picked out from their inventory. We didn't go to buy anything, you know, so special that we had to order it in or anything. We wanted to just get something that's available and that would look good. And so we have picked out some, they're basically called like pancakes, which are the thinner flagstones, because we're not really going to walk on it, and it's never going to be like driven on or really walked on or anything. It just needs to be decorative and sturdy. So we're going to get the thinner flagstone, but we're going to get 2 different kinds. And I didn't bring out what kind here, but 2 different kinds to kind of mix it up. And then we're going to get pea gravel to go in between all the flagstones. And we bought some samples, like we just went out and bought like 3 of each kind of stone that we liked, and some of that pea gravel, like 15 pounds of pea gravel, to just kind of do a pretend layout of what it might look like, and decide which stones we wanted to use the most. And we did that. We picked it out. We were really excited about it. And then the stores closed the next day, so we'll have to wait to actually pick that stuff up. Maybe here this week. We'll see. But then it comes down to laying those stones, leveling them out with the extra sand under them where they need to be leveled, tamping them down with what's it called? It's a rubber mallet, and then pouring the pea gravel in it. And then that part of the bed is done. And is that the whole bed? No, it is not. But that is the building part of the bed. Next, after that, we get either half wine barrels or big planters of some sort, or various size planters, and put them on top of our flagstone. And then we have to get dirt and put the dirt in the planters, and then we put the plants in the planters. And then we've got to put watering to the planters like little hoses. So it's not like we're nowhere near done, but we have done the dirt, the gravel, and the sand. And so far, just to let you know, because we shoveled the dirt twice, we dug it up and threw it up into our trailer that we're pulling behind the car to move it around the yard, because we're not doing this by wheelbarrow. It would be way too much. So because we dug out the dirt, threw it in the trailer, then once it was in the trailer, we took it to the part of the yard that we could use the dirt for, and we shoveled it out of the trailer back into the bed. We're counting the dirt weight twice. But with the dirt twice, because we moved it twice, we shoveled it and we shoveled it again, and with the gravel and with the sand, we have so far, between he and I, moved 20,000 pounds of landscaping. And we haven't done the stones yet, and we haven't done the gravel yet. 20,000 pounds. We're getting a workout here, people, one shovelful at a time. So It's been a good workout. It's looking great. Like, I was a little nervous there for a while because it's so different than what's always been there. And it's traditionally been this rose bed for years and years. And I was not panicking, but I was a little regretful when we started pulling out the roses. I'm like, oh no, what if this is the wrong thing? I've let go of this rose bed and we've ruined it. But so far it's looking good, and we'll see it with the finished project. But right now I think we're on the right path. And again, it's simplifying our yard, less work, less weeding. That's what we want to do. So we're making progress. Okay, that was a long explanation. Here we go into the paranormal stuff, if that's what you want to listen to. Okay, so last time I said that we have the opportunity, my brother has invited me and my husband and a couple other people to investigate a landmark in Oregon coming up here real soon. And I will tell you which landmark that is after we do it. That way I can share the results. And I've never done a paranormal investigation before. Been interested, never been a part of. So to practice, my brother and sister-in-law and their son, who have all been a part of paranormal investigating before, got together with my sister and her husband, and he has also been a part of paranormal investigating, over at my sister's house to see if we could use the equipment, to see if I could use the equipment really and get familiar with it, and to see if we saw anything or heard anything or if anything happened. And as I reported last time, something did happen that we could not explain away. So here it is. Ready? So there's this thing called a spirit box. And I know last time I got some of my terminology wrong on some of the devices, and I forgot to write it down and bring it up here, but apologies if I get terminology wrong. But there's this thing called a spirit box, or I think it's called the Etsy's process. This Etsy's method. Again, this is the part that I should have, practiced before I got on here to start filming. But anyways, basically what it is, and it's just kind of interesting to me. It's a radio that is set on a constant cycle, a pretty fast cycle through channels. And you hold on to that, and it's pretty loud, and you put it on headphones so that the person who is listening to it can't hear anybody around them. And then you also put a blindfold, or like those sleeping masks, on the person so that they can't see the people. So you want the person with the headphones who's listening to that radio cycle to not be able to see anybody and not be able to hear anybody around them. And I tried it. I actually did that part, and I couldn't see anybody around me, and I couldn't hear anybody. So that definitely works. Anyway, so as that radio is cycling through channels, if it pauses at any moment, or if any word becomes clear, your job as a person listening is to say that word or a selection of words out loud. That's it. That's all you're supposed to do. That's your part. So the other part of the this kind of event is for the people around you, or the people who are also helping with the investigation, to ask questions, so that maybe what you say might give whatever is there, whatever energy is there, or spirit is there, or ghost is there, however this all works, whatever non-normal, so whatever paranormal is there, maybe has a chance that when those words come out, it's the words that the paranormal wants to have as an answer to the questions that are being asked. Okay? I'm like, I think I've heard of that maybe once, but I never really understood how it worked. So it was really fun to get to be the person listening to it. And, I'll talk about that experience later, but just, personally. But I thought it was very interesting to do that part. It was also interesting to be a person asking questions and see if there were any answers that may come from that. So that was fun too. So we're in my sister's living room, and she and her husband have said that they occasionally hear footsteps going up their stairs into their attic, and going down across the attic, and going down the stairs from the attic, and sometimes going down the stairs into the basement. So they have just sort of shrugged and said, yeah, sometimes we have footsteps. We've got somebody or something going up and down the stairs, and it doesn't seem to bother us, and we don't bother them, and so it's just fine. So that's fine. They just have this footsteps go up and down. So we're in the living room, and her husband has the headphones on, and he can't hear any of us, and he can't see any of us. And so we were trying to see if we could figure out who's making the footsteps, right? I mean, you want to know maybe who's walking up and down the house, right? So we asked a lot of questions. We got some interesting her husband would say some interesting words that kind of fit with the questions that we were asking. And so we're like, oh, that's interesting. We kind of wrote all those down. But then we're like, can you tell us your name? Can you say what your name is? And her husband said, I'd rather show you, which is what, those are the words that he heard through the headphones, right? This is how this works. And we're like, yes, okay, that would be great. Please show us your name, or, tell us your name. We'd be happy. And I'm thinking, how? I don't know. And he said, all around you. And we're like, okay, are you around us? Are there many around us? What does all around you mean? And then their TV turned on. It just turned on. I was sitting right across from it. The controllers were to my left on the table, and I had my hand on my notebook and I was writing notes. So my hands were here. There was nobody else sitting next to me. And their TV turns on. And they have a Roku device on their TV. So it turns on and it starts like booting up the Roku stuff. And we're like, you did a great job showing us. We can tell that you're here. Thank you so much for turning on the TV, right? And then her husband, who has the headphones on and can't hear any of this and didn't know the TV turned on, says, United States? And we're like, yes, we're in the United States. And then the Roku cycled, and a show that none of us knew existed called All Around You, which is the second thing that her husband had said, showed up as a selection, like the selection on the Roku. Just that, just a still image of select this show. We were very, very impressed by that, because he said, let me show you. That's the words that he heard. The TV turns on, and all around you. We're like, oh, and the TV turns on, and then that all around you shows up. Now, is it something paranormal? I do not know. I asked my sister and her husband if their TV had ever just randomly turned on, because sometimes, electronic devices are weird. And she's like, nope, not in all the years we've lived there. And they've lived there since their kid was little. So that's that. And then we thought, aha, they have one of those controllers for the Roku for their TV, and it's probably voice activated. And so we tried to repeat all of that to make the TV turn on with those exact things that we had said, and the TV did not turn on, because you have to hold down a button and talk into that remote. And like I said, I was sitting right next to the table with the remote, and it was sitting right there, and nobody was next to me, and I had my hands on my notebook, so nobody pushed that button down. They don't have another remote. It's not like her husband was playing a prank on us. We simply don't know how to explain it. Like, there's no, look, we were there, the TV turned on when the words "let me show you" came out, then the TV turns on, and then, all around you, he said first, and then the TV turns on, and then United States, and then there it is. There's that show, all around you is selected. So we don't know how that happened. And it was pretty stunning, and it wasn't scary, because we're really just trying to, it's a mystery. It's like, is there somebody or something here? And is there any way that we can connect? Is there any way that we can find out if that's a yes or no, if there's any other energy in that space? So that's what happened. There was a small second thing that happened after that, as we were continuing talking, and the TV's on now. And we kept saying that same thing. Like, we said, oh, you said all around you, and there's TV. And we said, a lot of words, and the TV did not change from what it was selected on. And it didn't start running the show. It didn't turn off. It just stayed there. None of our voices changed it even while it was on, and while that controller was in the same space next to me. So that was cool. And then just a little bit later, my sister-in-law, who has done paranormal investigations, including over in Romania, come on, that's amazing. She was sitting at the table, and her husband, which is my brother, who has also done paranormal investigation for a long time, he's part of Under the Oregon Moon. You need to check them out, Under the Oregon Moon. They're on YouTube. I'll put a link to them down below. They talk about their paranormal investigating experiences. That's my brother Daryl and my brother Darren, and you should go see what their channel is all about, because it's super fun. Anyways, he was sitting there too, just across from her, and she heard footsteps coming down the stairs right after the TV had come on and all this stuff. So did her husband, because they both like looked at each other like, are you hearing what I'm hearing? Like, not saying that out loud, but they definitely heard the footsteps going down the stairs. And we did have digital recorders going at the same time, and they've been going over that footage, but I think that's going to show up on the digital recording, which are footsteps. And again, I don't know how you explain that. Like, none of us were moving. We were all sitting, and there was nobody else in the house. So, and there's no animals in the house, and so, well, there's a dog, but she was literally sleeping on the lap of one of us, so it wasn't like she was moving around. So that's it. That's some of the exciting stuff that happened when we were going to do a practice paranormal investigation. I got to tell you, now the bar's up pretty high. I'm expecting some fireworks down here at this at the event that we're going to go to coming up here real soon. But we make it absolutely nothing like that happen. That it isn't guaranteed, as it isn't that it's always a dramatic thing. We didn't have video cameras going because we were just practicing. But what an interesting event to be a part of. Like I said, it's really fun because it's kind of a one-time thing, and you will be a part of it, and then you will experience this thing. And if that thing can be explained away, then it can be explained away. But if it can't, then you've been a part of that experience. And that's just what it is, right? So it was really fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to our investigation coming up here real soon. And I will tell you all about it whenever I get back to doing Monday Monk, which shouldn't be too long from now. And yeah, that's it. This is probably one of the longer Monday Monks, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Until next time, my dear friends, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye for now.